Very good morning, guys. Fine. So last day we have been talking about assemblies, correct? So what I said, your assemblies are two types. What are the two types? One is private assemblies. Second one is shared assemblies. As per our discussion, assemblies are two types. The first one is a private assembly, and the second one is a shared assembly. So by default, every assembly is a private assembly. Last class proven you. By default, all your assemblies are private assemblies. Already in the last session, we've shown you practically every assembly is by default a private assembly. And if at all you want to make an assembly as a shared assembly, if at all you want to make your assembly as a shared assembly, as I explained to you in the last class, what is it? You're required to, you need to, if you want to make an assembly as a shared assembly, you just are required to put that assembly in one centralized location. You're required to put that assembly in one centralized location. A centralized location is where you're just required to put it up. Okay, so that should be placed in one centralized location, and we call that as a GAC. Stands for Global Assembly Cache. The GAC stands for Global Assembly Cache. If you put your assembly on the centralized location called GAC, then only your assembly becomes a shared assembly. So by default, our assemblies are private. Last day I explained you, I demonstrated and shown you this already, right or not? Last day I've already shown you, by default your assembly is a private assembly. It is not going to be a shared assembly. So whenever you try to add a reference, what happens? A copy of that assembly will be created and given to the one who is going to add the reference. So last day I showed you two projects, right? Two projects, one console application project I've taken you, one Windows application project I've taken you. And once you added the reference, you are just finding two copies of it. One under the first project and one under the second project. So original copy plus two additional copies are created. Like this, how many people wants to access it? That many number of copies also will be created off in this case now. So that is the major drawback with the private assemblies. But tomorrow, I want an assembly to be consumed in 10 or 20 projects here. I want an assembly now, which I want to consume in 10 or 20 projects. When you want to consume in 10 or 20 projects now, if at all you try to go for using a private assembly, I hope you can understand what will be the problem now. What will be the problem here? 10 or 20 assemblies, and if at all they are going to be private, the big problem will be like, array, that many number of copies will be created of there. Yes or not? That many number of copies will be created of there. That's not the right way. That's not going to be a right way to just do it, because creating multiple copies is not going to be correct. Understood my point, all of you? Yes or not? So this is what exactly we just require to remember. So to avoid this problem, they introduced us a concept called as shared assembly. So what is a shared assembly? What is a shared assembly means? Simply speaking, we first place this assembly in one central location, and after placing the assembly in a central location, we provide access to users from there. The best example, your databases are shared. Do you install a database on each and every machine? Do you install a database on each and every machine? Not at all. We don't install database on each and every machine here. We install database only on a central location, and all machines will connect to that. Take an ATM. For an ATM, if you see, the database will be present for you on one location, and all ATM machines throughout the world will be connected to that database. Everyone should be connecting to that particular database to you in this context. Everyone should connect to the database. I hope I'm clear. So this is also shared assembly, also the same concept only. What is this? Everyone is going to interact or connect to one central database here. Just like every application is going to connect to one central database, here all our applications will be accessing one single assembly. One single assembly basically. Everyone will be accessing that one single assembly only, and that assembly and that particular assembly is what we call as a shared assembly. And that assembly is what we call as a shared assembly. So by default, every assembly is a private assembly, and you can make it as a shared assembly. You can make that as a shared assembly. How to do that? How to make an assembly as a shared assembly? Okay. So guys, have a look. Only this week only, na. By end of the week, we are going to finish this, na. Just 4 days remaining. Can't you manage for 4 days? Yeah. Guys, have a look. I just given this complete information for you in a question and answer format, one by one. Let's just try to understand. First thing, I read it. What is a shared assembly? If an assembly is placed on any centralized location of a machine and then provide for consumption to various applications on that machine, we call it as shared assembly. On my machine, 10 projects want to use the same assembly. The best example, you opened so many projects till now. Tell me, all projects require the system assembly. Array, all projects require system assembly, that's the root. If that is private, what the problem? Till now, you created at least 10-15 projects. Array, 10-15 copies of the assembly will be present now. Am I right? What is the best way? Array, put it on a central location and then provide access to all the people now. Put it on a central location and then provide access to all the applications now. That's what we call as a shared assembly. Now we'll have a doubt. After reading this one, we'll have a doubt. What will have doubt? What are you telling? Placed on a centralized location. Then the question will be, sir, what is the centralized location I need to place my assembly now? What is the centralized location I need to place my assembly? Read that. Is that clear? What is it called? GAC, Global Assembly Cache. Understood? After reading this, you should immediately get another doubt now, another question. What is that? Did not get you. What is GSC? The next question should be, what is GSC first? GSC, you're telling to put in GSC. What is the GSC? Is it a software or something? That's what will be a question in our minds now. Read it. It's a folder, guys. That's all. Currently, that folder contains all your libraries. All libraries are assemblies only now. All the libraries will be present in that location now. All the libraries will be present for you in that location. If you go there and see, all libraries will be present for you into that location. Okay. Now, what is the next question? Where is the folder located? Yeah, use your common sense. I'm telling GSC. Next question, where is it, sir? Where is the GSC now? Where is the GSC located? Write that. In your operating system drive, you'll find a folder called Windows. In that, you'll find a folder called Microsoft.NET. Under that, assembly. Under that, GSC_MSIL. And that is the location where you'll be finding up. And Read that note, all of you. All the libraries provided by Microsoft are shared DLL assemblies. Why DLLs? We consume them, we don't run them. So they are all DLLs and they are present in the GSE folder. You can go and verify. You can go and verify now. Where is it? C drive, Windows. What next? Microsoft.NET. Under that, assembly. Under that, GSE underscore MSIL. These are all your libraries. This is the system. The system.dll. Okay, same way. You'll find so many things here. The system.collections. System.component model. Remember this component model? When you're developing the user controls, on the top of it, we have used attributes, description, and all. And on that day, I explained to you, if you want to use them, you require import a namespace called system.component model. Go and refer to your user controls. Configuration manager class. Console. System.data, everything. System.drawing, you know this. IO for file operations. You consumed here, all these things you consumed. Right? All these things you have just consumed in your application. Everything has been consumed in your application basically. Am I clearer, everyone? Okay. So that's what. So these are all the assemblies what we are consuming in our applications. I hope you guys are clear. They're all present for you in this location. These are all present for you in this particular location. All the shared assemblies, whatever we are consuming, will now be present under this particular location actually. Am I clearer, everyone? Tell me. Okay, so these are our shared assemblies. These are our shared assemblies and you can just see everything in this location. Okay, fine. What next? How to make an assembly shared? Because by default, every assembly is private. Yesterday we talked on every assembly is private. Now I want to make it shared now. How to do? Simple. Everything in the GSE is a shared assembly now. Right? So if at all you want to make your assembly shared, simply you require to install it into the GSE. Once you install in the GSE, your assembly becomes a shared assembly. Understood? Next. Read it. Is that clear? You're provided with a tool now. What is that? GSE utility. And you should use it from the Visual Studio command prompt. You're required to use it from the Visual Studio command prompt basically. From the Visual Studio command prompt, we need to use it like this. Either GSETL -i -u -l or /i /u /l. Say -i or /i. Both are same only here. Install. That is to install an assembly. Minus U or slash U. Uninstall. This is to install an assembly. This is to uninstall an assembly. Minus L or slash L. List the assemblies. To list the assemblies. Are you clear? So that's what the use of it. Okay. To test them, open Visual Studio developer command prompt in administrator mode. Open Visual Studio developer command prompt in administrator mode and then try them as below. Okay, don't forget here. In a normal mode, that doesn't work. Mainly listing and all works. Installing and uninstalling will not work. List will work. Install and uninstall will not work because that can be done only by administrators. How do you open administrator mode? Right click and run as administrator. You know this option? For every application, you'll have this option. You right click on that, you'll be finding an option called run as administrator. So open in the administrator mode first. And after opening this in the administrator mode, just we can try up all our commands. Okay, watch it. You're on the C drive, right? Now GSC util minus L. When I use this particular command, what it will do, it will provide me the list of all the commands now. Sorry, the list of all the assemblies. Run and see. There are 1087 assemblies present in the GAC. Is that clearer or not? There are 1087 assemblies present in the GAC. Provides the list of all assemblies in the GAC. Okay, watch. Suppose if I give a name here, it will provide information of that assembly only. It will provide information of that particular assembly only. Sorry. There are two versions. One is 2.0.0.0 version and 4.0.0.0 version. I too will show you how to put two versions over there. Will show you guys. Understood? So like this, we can just go for just checking up like what assemblies are there. Okay. Provides the list of assemblies with specified name. Provide the list of assemblies with specified name now. And in the place of minus, you can also try slash a, both are same. Two options are available. That's all. Suppose if I give GAC util minus U and specify some assembly name, something like some name as assembly. And not there here. If it is present, it will uninstall off. And if you install any predefined assemblies, uninstall any predefined assemblies, no problems will start. Just to give an idea, I shown you, that's all. So when you try that, now it will tell you, no assemblies found matching. Number of assemblies uninstalled at 0, number of failures at 0. I given a wrong name there without installing any built-in assembly. Just try to show you the example with you with a wrong name. What it will do? Uninstalls the assembly with specified. it will uninstall the assembly with specified name. Okay, that's going to be uninstalled for you. What next? The next thing is, guys, I wanted to install. Want to install? Yes. What do you want to install? Yesterday, we created one assembly called P assembly. Remember? Yes or not? That P assembly I wanted to install here. That P assembly I wanted to install here. Are you clear? So yesterday it is a private assembly. Now I'm planning to install this into GSE. Make it shared. Make it a shared assembly. Okay. Now let us install the PAssembly.dll we have created earlier. Let's do that. We created earlier. Let's just try to install this PAssembly. Okay. What to do? And to do that, go to the folder where PAssembly.dll is present and use the below command. Are you following me? Come on, let's go to the folder. Where is it, guys? E drive. Where is it present first? E drive. It is in the E drive. C# 9. PAssembly, bin, debug, net 6.0. That is the location. Are you clear? GSE util -I assembly name P assembly.dll. When you're installing extension is mandatory. Why? In that folder, you remember DLL files are there, exe files will be there, PDB files will be there. Which file you should tell? When you are listing and uninstalling, no need. Why? What you have is only DLLs. Or you don't have any other extensions there. Yeah, you don't have only DLLs there. So their extension is not required. But here, extension is mandatory. Okay, now? So this is the command I should use. So guys, this is my E drive is my folder. I don't know what is your drive. Here use your drive now because I typed E drive. All of you don't blindly write E drive there. So your drive and the command what you're just trying to use. GSE util -I PAssembly.dll. Clear and hit the enter key. Guys, failed guys. Failed. I just got an error. The above operation fails with an error message as below. What is that? Failure adding assembly to cache, attempt to install an assembly without a strong name. This is the message what it publishes to you. This is the message what it is publishes to you and the operation fails. Are you clear? But now you'll have a doubt. Why, sir? Why it failed? I'll tell you. Now read the next question. You'll get a clarity. What is that? What assemblies can be installed into GSE? We can install only strong named assemblies into GSE. We can install only strong named assemblies to a GSE. Then immediately the next question will be, sir, what is a strong named assembly then? Right? What is a strong named assembly? What is a strong named assembly? Okay. An assembly with three special attributes. In any assembly with three special attributes. What are those? Name, version number, and public key token. Name, version number, and public key token are known as strong name assembly. Okay, what is the first one? Name. What is that? This refers to this refers to the name of the assembly. And right now, our assembly name is the assembly. We have a name to our assembly now. What is the name? What is the name? The assembly. What is the second attribute? Varsha. Okay. Every assembly will be having a version number which will be changed whenever we make modifications or enhancements. All of you carefully listen. Every assembly will be having version number, which will be changed whenever we make modifications or enhancements. See, tomorrow, you developed an assembly, it was launched in the market. Tomorrow you do enhancements. When you do enhancements, how do you say this is the old one, this is a new one? After doing enhancements, you'll recompile again, assembly will come. How do you say this is the old one, this is a new one now? Version number, when you update your softwares on your machines regularly, on your mobile, are you updating your softwares? Version numbers will come now. So every assembly will have a version number, which will be changed. Will have a version number just for discriminating the changes that are made time to time. So this will be more apt way of telling. Every assembly will be having a version number for discriminating the changes that are made time to time. The changes are enhancements that are made time to time. Whenever you're trying to make some changes and enhancements, version numbers will be changed. Okay? And remember, the default version number of an assembly is 1.0.0.0, and we can change this when required. We can change this when required. But what is the default version number? 1.0.0.0. You can see them, guys. You can see them. How to see them? To view both the above attributes, both the attribute values, in Windows Explorer, go to the location where tassembly.dll is present. In Windows Explorer, go to the location here where tassembly.dll is present. What is that location? This is the location now. That is the location. Go there. Okay, now? So come on, let's go there. Oh, a drive is not C drive, na? E drive. Net 6.0. Okay. What is the location? Okay. Now what you'll do, then in the view menu here, select the option tiles. So in the view menu, select the option tiles. This is the version number. This is the name. Are you clear? This is the version number and this is the name of your assembly. Okay. So DL is present, and in the view menu over there, select the option. Which option? Tiles, which will display the version number and assembly name also. Is everyone clear? So by default, you have your version number, you have a assembly name also. Okay? And this is the location, guys. There is a location to go over here and just in that location, just to find out. Okay, now? Fine. Third attribute. What is that attribute? Public key token. What is this public key token? See, GSE is a public location, where everyone can place their assemblies. I repeat, guys, GSE is a public location where everyone can place their assemblies. So there is always a chance for naming conflict. Yes, guys, you too created one assembly with the name P assembly. I too created one assembly with the name P assembly. Both of us want to place on the GSE now. So naming conflict occurs now. Okay, so to avoid this naming conflict, every assembly will be having a unique key value for identification. Okay, so to avoid this naming conflict or to avoid this conflict, to avoid those conflicts, every assembly will be having a unique key value for identification of the assembly under GSE. And we call that as public key token. We call that as a public key token. Did you understand that? Simple, I'll tell you a small example. See. Actually, my grandfather's name is Srinivas. My grandfather's name is Srinivas. Now, my grandfather has three sons. My father is the elder, and afterwards, another two are there. Totally three. And all these three for their first son, to show the gratitude towards their father, what they done, all the three has put their grandfather's name, their father's name. All these three, for their first son, put their father's name now. So now you understand, in our family, there are three people, three co-brothers of me with the same name, Srinivas. Same surname. Surname will be same only, na? Same surname, same name. Are you clear? Now the conflict what? All these three want to open a bank account now. Went to a bank. Your names are same now. Understood my point? All these three people name are M. Srinivas Rao. All these three people, the first son in our family name is Srinivas Rao. All the three, we have three Srinivas Raos in our family now. All the three are brothers. They want to open the account. So now the problem starts. Now the same name. Will the bank say, one open the account here, another one go to another bank, another one go to another bank? Huh? No, no. So names can be same, but to identify them uniquely, what the bank does, the bank will give an account number, where the account number is unique for each person. Names are same, but you are not identified with your name tomorrow. Tomorrow you go and say your name, we won't identify you. What do you ask you? What is your account number? Tell. Correct? So account number is a unique identification. Huh? Exactly the same thing only I'm telling you. Read this carefully. Yeah? That only I said you now. Will be spelling mistake, will be having a unique key value for identification of the assembly under GSE, and we call that as public key token. Are you clear? And now read this note now. So any assembly with all the three attributes is called as Strong named assembly. See now, PAssembly.dll is not strong named because it lacks public key token. Array, what I said, your name is there, version is there, I already shown you. What is missing? Public key token is missing. So because this public key token is missing, we are not able to install it into the GSE. Lacks public key token, and that is the reason why. That is the reason why we are not able to install it into GSE. I hope you guys are clear. On the top I said you fails. Here I said you the reason why it fails. What next now? Sir, if that is the case, how can I get that public key token now? Are you getting my point? If that is the case, how can I get the public key token so that my assembly becomes a strong named assembly now? Come on, read. I hope you guys are clear. What to do? We need to generate it and add it to the project before compilation. Next. How to generate? We have tool. What is the tool name? We need to use it from the Visual Studio command prompt. We need to use it from the Visual Studio command prompt. Which will be used at Visual Studio command prompt as following. Okay. So this is how you are going to use it. How to use? SN minus K file name. SN minus SN is the name of the tool here. Minus K is an instruction, just like minus I, minus U, minus L. Minus K is an instruction to generate a key value. To generate a key value. What is that file name? The generated key value should be stored into that file now. The generated key value should be stored into that file name. So for example, read that. The above statement generates a public key token value and stores it into the given file, which should have an extension of SN key, means strong name key. Is that clear? Okay. To generate a public key token, open Visual Studio developer command prompt in administrator mode and use and try it as below. Are you clear? Come on. I'll go to our folder here. What is the folder? E drive, C# 9, and here I'll say what? SN minus K, some name. I don't know what is your folder, so your drive. So simply I'm leaving it as drive. Okay now? And one more thing, your document folder name is just a C#. That's it, not C# 9. Okay, in your document, it is just only C#, not C# 9. I'm just removing that also. Okay, let's try. Come on, let me open the developer command prompt in administrator mode. Go to our drive, our own folder. How to run? GSE util. Oh, sorry. SN means strong name. minus K. Key pair return to key dot snk. dir star dot snk. The file generated. Are you clearer, all of you? The file got generated for you at this place. Key.snk is the file that is generated for you over there. Hope it's clear. Okay, now. So that got generated. Okay, fine. We just got the key file generated at this location and we are able to see that over there. Fine, good, well and good. What next? What next? After generating this, add the file to your project and compile. After generating the key file, add the file to the project in Visual Studio and compile the project, which will generate a point. Clear? You should add it and that assembly will be a strong named assembly. Shall we try this now? Okay, I'll do one thing here. I don't want to make the T assembly as a shared assembly here. T assembly, as the name indicates, let's say private assembly only now. Leave it. How did you develop T assembly? Same way. Can you develop a new thing called yes assembly? Yesterday you developed T assembly. Let us leave it private only here. Same way, develop a new project. Yes assembly. Come on. Let's do it. Open Studio. Create a new project. What type of project we taken? Class library. Class library. Let's name it as yes assembly. Yesterday we called P assembly. Today I'm calling yes assembly. Okay. .NET 6.0 long-term support. Create. By default, it comes with a class called class 1. You already know that. Yeah. Now in that, okay, in that, let's go for writing the code. What? Yes, you've written a method called public string say hello, right? Say hello. And what did you write? Return hello from private assembly. Today we came to know one new thing now. What is that? Version number. Array, today we came to know one thing. There is something called version number. Let's mention that also. Version number 1.0.0. The default version number is 1.0.0.0. So hello from private assembly. That is the version number. 1.0.0.0. I want to name this method as say hello 1. Array, whatever name you like, just give it here. No issues with it. Oh, sorry. Shared assembly. Not a private assembly anymore. It is a shared assembly. Okay, done. Now tell me, if I open this and build my project, is it a strong named assembly? Louder, yeah. No, why? Public key token is not attached to it. If I build it like this, it's not strong named. Yesterday we done this only. That is why our assembly is not a strong named. But today also requirement, we want to make it strong named. If you want to make it strong named, you need to attach the key file here. You're required to attach the key file here. How to do that? How to do that is, watch. Go to right click on the project, go to properties. Options change here. Just a minute, I'll show you. Yeah. Yeah. In the left hand side, you'll find build option. Under that, Strong naming. See what is it telling you? Sign the output assembly to given into strong name. Select this checkbox. When you select this checkbox, here it will ask you, what is it? Strong name key file, browse. Strong name key file, browse. Okay, just a minute. Actually, I just given the notes for .NET framework, all of you. And today what I'm showing is .NET Core. Let me update. Yeah, what's a shared assembly? Locations and all these are fine here. No issues with that. Everything I given here also, how to install and all. What is name, what is version, what is public key token listed you here. And then yeah, the syntax and an example, how to generate. Okay. And what is the extension? Just a second. Okay. You have a key value and the key value general extension is going to be .snk, where snk stands for strong name key. Strong name key. Fine. And here are the steps. First step. What is the first step? Go to your drive, your folder. What's your folder? That is fixed only now. Your drive and into that folder C# and generate a key file. Second step. Create a new project. Create a new project and add the key file to it before compilation so that the assembly which is generated will be strong name. To do this, open a new project of type class library, name it as sassembly, and write the below code under class 1. Guys, this is the code what I'm writing. Okay, now next. To associate key file we have generated with the project. To associate the key file we have generated with the project, we have generated with the project. Okay, open. Okay, open project properties window, and to do that, open Solution Explorer, right click on the project and select properties. And in the window opened, select what? Just a minute. Yeah, in the window open, select build select the build open, select build tab. Build tab on left hand side. Yeah, build tab here. And under that, strong name item in the left hand side. And under that, click on strong naming item. Which displays a checkbox, as sign the output assembly to sign the it changed, guys. Sign the output assembly. Earlier it is sign the assembly, that's all. Now it is sign the output assembly to give it a strong name. Okay, so you need to select the checkbox, guys. What is checkbox? Which displays a checkbox in right hand side. Okay, so select that one. Which displays a file upload control with browse button to select the file from its physical location. So what it is going to display, file upload control. What is this? Yes, guys, this is called as a file upload control with a browse button. Click on the browse button and select the file from its physical location. Where is it? E drive, C#9, key.smk. Okay. From its physical location, what you'll do? Click on the browse button and with a browse button to select the file from its physical location. So click on browse and select the key.snk file from its physical location. Which adds the file under Solution Explorer. Once you do that, guys, the file will be added under Solution Explorer. You can open the Solution Explorer. Okay, it's not showing now. Okay, in .NET Core, it is not showing under Solution Explorer, I think. No, in .NET Core, it is not showing under Solution Explorer. Just a minute. Which adds the file to the project. And we can find that information in .csproj file. We'll find that information in the .csproj file here. Actually, in the .NET framework, that used to show in the Solution Explorer. But in the .NET Core, it's not showing under that. Where you find that? Your proj file, you know that now. Every day you used to set the startup object now. That is a proj file. Can you see that? Assembly originator key file. Understood? Assembly originator key file is what we see over there. Find that information in .cs for proj file under the XML key. What is that? You'll find this. Assembly originator key file is the XML key. What you'll be finding there, if you go and check there, you can find up your key name. Okay. Okay. What do you do now? Now compile the project. Now compile the project using build option, which will generate sassembly.dll, which is strong named. Just some few options changed, guys. That's what I just tried to update in the notes. Okay. So yeah. Now let's build. Now your assembly is a strong named assembly, guys. Your assembly is a strong named assembly. Shall I install in the GSE? Shall I install this in the GSE now? Come on, let's do it. Yes, assembly. Okay. Net 6.2. GSE util minus I. Assembly.dll. Assembly successfully added to the cache. Is it clear? The assembly is added to the cache now. So go to your folder. Which folder? The GSE folder. Where is it? C drive, Windows, Microsoft.NET, assembly, GSE_MSIL. You can see the time when it got installed also. Open the folder. This is your version number 1.0.0.0. This is your public key token. This is the public key token value. So what is 4.0? That is CLR version. 4.0 is CLR version. 1.0.0.0 is the assembly version. And at 178 something what you're seeing, this is the public key token. Open that. That is your assembly. Now you can just start using the assembly wherever you want now. That is in the GSE. So it doesn't maintain your multiple copies. The same copy will be used by all. The same copy is going to be used by all the projects now without going for multiple creation. Okay. So step 3, installing assembly into GSE by using global assembly cache. To install the assembly into GSE, open developer command prompt in administrative mode. In administrator mode, okay? Visual Studio developer command prompt in administrator mode. Next, go to the location where assembly.dll is present and write the below statement. What does that code say? Let me change, guys. This is 6.2 now, okay? Hey, just be careful that what version you are using, I don't know. I am showing on 6.2, so I change it to 6.2. If you are using something else, 5.0 or something. You already know the folder names. Going to do that one. Yeah, that's the code. So this will install you the assembly into GSC. Now what next here? Step 4. What is step 4? The step 4 is testing the shared assembly. What do you do? Create a new project of type console application. Name it as, otherwise I'll open Windows application. Name it as test assembly 1. Name it as test assembly 1. Okay. Next, place a button on form 1 and set the text or caption of the button as call say hello. Are you clear? Call say hello. Guys, version number? No. Call say hello 1. Call say hello 1. The method name I given is call say hello 1. Yeah. It's called say hello 1. If you want to be much more clear, type the version number there. 1.0.0.0. Okay. Next. Add reference to sassembly.dll from its physical location. You just add a reference to sassembly.dll from the physical location now. Do that. You know how to add a reference. I don't require to give you an explanation. Okay. And then you can just go for and write the below code under button click event handler or button click event procedure. You go there and write the appropriate code. That's all. Come on, let's try, guys. Come on, let's try this. Already we have in the GSC, right? Open the studio. Create a new project. Windows Forms app. What is the name I given? I'm creating 2 projects here. That's why the name what I given is test assembly 1. Yesterday we created test P assembly 1, test P assembly 2 now. So today I'm giving test assembly 1. Next, create. Add a button on it. What is that? Caption, call. Say hello 1, 1.0.0. The version number. That is the version number what we have. Okay. Call say hello 1, 1.0.0.0. Okay now? Next, add a reference, guys. You need to add a reference now. Come on, add a reference. Right click, add project reference from the physical location. Browse, E drive, C sharp 9. See, yesterday we created a P assembly and all these things. Today, S assembly, pin, debug, net 6.0, S assembly.dll. See, here it will show you the description, like a file name will be shown as description. Company, what is that company? We'll talk about it. Means generally you can tell who manufactured the assembly. Who manufactured the assembly? We did not tell that. Because we did not tell, it is taking the assembly name as company there. File version, the version of the assembly 1.0.0.0, showing all the information. When I click on the add button, here that information will be loaded. Are you clear? Okay. Click on the OK. Now go to click of the button. Write the code. What? sassembly.class1 obj is equals to new sassembly.class1 and hanged up here. Message box dot show obj dot say hello 1. Run. Click on the button and you can verify. Hello from shared assembly 1.0.0.0. Is that clear? So loaded you and just giving you the output. That's it. How you test it. So add reference and test the code from its physical location. Okay. So this is a code what you're writing. Run the project, test it, and now this project, the test assembly can run by using the sassembly.dll, which is present in the GAC. That is, we don't require a copy of the sassembly.dll to be present under the local folder. So by using the assembly in the GAC only, it can run. You don't require a copy to be present in the GAC folder. Did you understand my point? I'm talking with you only here. I'm not talking with walls and chairs here. Got it? So you don't require that assembly to be present in the GAC, in the local folder. Why? It's already in the GAC folder, and because it is already in the GAC folder, from there only it will just make use of the assembly. Okay, you just don't require like the code to be present in the GAC folder at all. So just we have we don't require the code to be present in the local folder, assembly to be present in the local folder. From GAC only, it will just take it for you. Okay now? Fine. So did you understand how to create a shared assembly? Now in this process, we are learning about one more important thing here. What is that we are learning? We are learning about versioning. We are learning about version. There is a version number for our assembly. What is the version number? 1.0.0.0. So tomorrow you'll have a doubt. Sir, can I change this version number? Can I change the version numbers? You'll have a picked out like, can we change these version numbers? We have a concept called as versioning assemblies. We have a concept called as versioning assemblies, by using which we can change the version number of an assembly. We have a concept of versioning assemblies, and by using this, we can change the version number of an assembly. The assembly's version number can be changed by you. Assembly.dll. Okay. So, what is that? We have a concept called versioning. What is it versioning? Whenever there are some changes or enhancements made to a project, whenever there are changes or enhancement made to project, we can change the version numbers of the assembly now. We can change the version numbers of the assembly. Assembly version numbers can be changed. Generally, when we do that, changes can be there, enhancements can be there. When there are any changes or when there are any enhancements here, we can change the version numbers of the assembly. Okay. So if you have a look on this, read this question and answer. First question. Did you understand that? What is that? I'm asking you only, what is it telling you? When there are changes or enhancements to discriminate between the old and the new, we need to maintain version number. And version number is a combination of 4 values. What are the 4? Major version, minor version, field number, revision. Okay. And this 1.0.0.0 is the version number of our assembly, right? Where 1 is major version. The first 0 is minor version. The second 0 is build number. Third 0 is revision. Okay. Next. Read this one. Louder. Enhancements or modifications. Enhancements or changes. In both these two scenarios, we change the version number of assembly. In both the two scenarios, we change the version number of an assembly. Version numbers will be changed on both the two scenarios. Enhancements can be done as well as modifications can be done for both the two times. Version numbers will be changed. Okay now? And remember guys, tomorrow there are enhancements or changes. We are telling that version numbers can be changed. So if we want to change the version number, on what criteria should I change the version number? There should be some guidelines for changing the version number. Na? Today it is 1.0.0.0. Tomorrow I cannot blindly give 2.0.0 or 3.0. I should have some guidelines. So what are the guidelines to change the version number? Remember all of you. Every assembly is a assembly. What's an assembly? Collection of types. Collection of types means classes, structures, interfaces, enums, and delegates. You already know that now. A collection of types. Next, a type. What's a type? Collection of class is a type here. Again, you're telling collection of classes. Brainless fellows. Members here. How many times would I say that for you? What are members? Methods, fields, fields, methods, constructors, finalizer, properties, indexers, events, and deconstructors. So these are what basically an assembly contains: types and members. So tomorrow, if there are any changes to the assembly, what changes can come? You can add a new type. You can add a new type, or you can modify an existing type. Second option, you can add a new member, or you can modify an existing member. Changes means this only na. If you modify, change. If you add, enhancement. A new type added, enhancement. An existing type modified, change. Are you clear? Read the 4 points. Are you clear? So whenever new types are added, major version, whenever existing types are modified, minor version, whenever new members are added, in number, whenever existing members are modified, revision. Understood the criteria? So tomorrow, based on the changes you are making, you need to change the version number on that criteria now. Is that clear? So today we created one assembly called S-assembly now. Tomorrow we'll make some changes to that and see how to change the version number and install it back into the GSC. We'll see that in the tomorrow session. Let's stop here. We'll meet tomorrow.